Hey everybody and welcome to a new video. My name is Midway and I hope you're having a wonderful day, cause I sure am. And welcome again to the starting a new account in Legend of Mushroom in 2025 series. Today we're taking it off a little bit forward to where the last video left it. I played a little bit more and I managed to get myself just about to level 29, right? So what's gonna happen with this? Well, we're just gonna be hitting level 30 really soon. In fact, we're gonna keep spinning this lamp on its own, and we do have some gold to almost level up our lamp right there. But we're gonna be hitting level 30 really soon, and we are going to be picking a class, right? That's when things are gonna be starting to really pick off. We're gonna be going mage, and we're gonna be starting to do some big serious damage. Before we get into any of that though, please go ahead and check out Aptoide if you haven't done so yet. If you are a new Legend of Mushroom player, I'll talk a little bit more about what Aptoide really has in store for you once you really get into it. It's gonna save you a lot of money and get you a lot more value for your money, but I'll do a little bit more of a wider explanation later at the end of the video. For now, for those of you that already used Aptoide in the past, well, check out my code down here in under my camera as well as in the description. I got a new code that has changed, so if you were using my code before, well, now you will need to switch it to the new one. But again, more of those details later at the end of the video. For now, let's get into it. So as you can see, I am being pointed now that I'm level 30. I just hit level 30 to hit on the top character section here, and now we can evolve. So we have 4 choices. Nowadays we have 4. Back in the day there was only 3 choices. And myself, I did start going a mage when I first started playing this game, and I still do think it's a very good recommendation. Some people in the comments were saying warrior is also very strong. I think that is also right. You're going to be able to get a lot of survivability out of playing warrior. But again, sort of like with archer, if you are really looking for damage, you're going to be a lot more stat dependent on those counters, as well as if you go archer on those combos. So mage is a very strong early option. And what about spirit channeler? Well, it's a class that I haven't really touched, not gonna lie, and I don't really see that many people playing it in the higher ranks. Pretty much nobody is playing it ever since it released, because it's really hard to get some proper damage coming out of that class, and it doesn't really have that big of a defensive kit. It's also pretty not easy to understand. I got a video on it when it first came out. There's a lot of different variables to it, so it's a lot harder to build, and it depends on many other things like power combinations and such. So we are just going to be going with a straightforward and very much optimal and strong approach, which is just building a mage, right? So as soon as we evolve into a mage, we're going to be boosted by quite a little bit, so we get a lot of power. We also switch our shape to be a little bit more powerful. We look a little bit cooler, and most importantly, we unlock the skill, the active skill, which is Meteor Blitz. So Meteor Blitz summons a meteor, dealing a lot of damage, as well as reducing the skill damage resistance of targets within the range by 24% for 5 seconds. So we are not only going to be dishing out a lot of damage, but we are also going to be applying a debuff that increases the damage we do with all of our other skills. So we are going to be leveling up even more and eventually unlocking more and more skills, which we will check out after a little while. For now, we have also unlocked the passive skill crit plus 15%, really adding up some damage to our own main source of damage with our skills we already mentioned. So for now, we are pretty much just ready to pump it up and start killing a lot of enemies really damn quickly. We're going to be having a lot of just stuff that's going to be showing up everywhere like we had before in the past. And I haven't not yet bought the skip ads thingy, which really I would really recommend doing, because it saves up so much time if you're going to be putting any amount of time into this game. In fact, I haven't even changed my name. But one thing that I do definitely recommend doing is at least speeding up. Even if you are not going to be spending any money, speed up in-game and you'll just see your progress go by so much faster. So as you can see right now, I am zooming in-game. Everything just goes a lot faster. My skills and my movement speed and everything, the animations, it's all just sped up by 2 times basically for 30 minutes. Now you unlock this feature, I think it's once you get to normal 8 or something like that, maybe normal 8/5. At some stage you do unlock it. I did last time, right? So at this point, yep, by the time that I started this video I already had it, but you are pretty much just going to be able to enjoy that benefit. Even you can increase the amount of times you can speed up per day. Initially you can only speed up twice a day. That's when you really do your most progress during the day, and then you will also be able to unlock that to be even have a third time to you can speed up once you do choose to unlock certain packs that you have the choice of buying into, right? So It's not something we're going to be doing because we're going to try to do just straight up just free to play. I might buy the ad skip, and we're going to be leveling up our lamp a little bit here since it's really so damn useful. As you can see, if I want to be speeding this up by 2 hours and saving up on some tickets, which I do have quite some of, I would need to be sitting here through 4 ads, right? That's really annoying. It's really boring. It takes, it's kind of like 30 seconds every ad, you know, but that's really annoying, right? It's 2 minutes I just wasted looking at nothing. So if you really just want to do that, just go ahead and do it. I really recommend it. So what are we doing here? Well, we are now setting up our gear rolls here. Let me just go ahead and show you. We are still going for skill crit, the main thing, and I did that because I was just really not getting that much loot. I was falling behind a little bit on the curve of getting stuff, and as you can see, I right now also unlocked my mount. I am now mounted on a leaf, right? So as soon as you get to this point, let me go ahead and check it out here. Yeah, that might just have been because of the what you call the age of the server. As a new player, once you get into, oh, we got our first mythic item, there we go. Well, we're losing some skill crit with this one, but that's definitely a massive upgrade just because of the stats, so we're going to be going ahead and taking that. But as a server first starts, if you're a new player, you're not going to have all the features first unlocked. As you can see, for example, we're going to have stuff that we are not yet able to see here. For example, this one, day 15 required, right? So the server is not yet 15 days old, or maybe I also don't meet some of the other requirements. And again, I'm going to have this big upgrade going on, even though I don't have skill crit on it. So you will just have to wait for a couple days for that feature to unlock, just so that everybody kind of progresses at the same pace. It's also kind of nice to have something to look forward to as you are first like progressing through the game. Nonetheless, since I haven't played for a couple days now, I am able to check out my mount feature, right? So you can see I have a decent amount of the mount upgrade items, and you will get this in many ways. I have many videos covering how to maximize the value of your mount upgrades. But your mount is going to be a big source of power as you first start into the game. This hasn't changed ever since the game started. So yeah, we're really just gonna be dropping all of this in these upgrades, straight up, just gonna be doing that. And as soon as I reach, like I max out all the stars, you can see my mount is now a tier higher, and it's now, well, tier 2, and it has a different shape. Now every time you go up a tier, you're gonna get a lot more stats than you had before down here on the HP, attack, and defense bonus, as you can see, and that really spikes up very heavily as you go forward and forward and forward, as well as the cost of upgrading these things as well, right? So yeah, you should kind of save these for certain events, which we'll talk in a moment. But for now, since we're just starting in a new server, I am kind of just going to advising you to just do the good thing, the cool thing about the game, and the enjoyable thing, and that is to just like spend everything and just enjoy yourself, get more powerful every time you play the game. Don't just save up things because, well, that's kind of boring. Eventually you will reach a point where you're not really going to do any meaningful progress by just spending everything as soon as you get it. So at that point, you kind of just want to be saving up your resources so that you can win the rush events, which I'll cover in a second. So now let me just go ahead and spend all of this and see if we can get to tier 3. There we go. And now we are out of them, right? So we are now riding our little, what you call that, a surfboard. So we also have a different sort of mount upgrading thingy. We got some of these items, not too sure from what, but you can just go ahead and quick empower that, and you get a random level on some of these affixes. I'm not going to double too much into that. It's just some random leveling stuff that you get a long-term progress on. But what I was mentioning with the skill rush, or rather the rush events, is exactly this. And by the way, we have a rush event happening right now, so that's perfect. I can go ahead and talk about it for now, right? So you can see there's this little event. You can find it on the trophy icon in the top left, and you click there and you can see limited time rush. So what this really do is that for a limited time, usually it's about a week, you're gonna have the chance to spend all your resources of a certain kind, and that's going to be allowing you to participate in the rankings. Here you can see how much everybody else in your server has been spending, and you are gonna be comparing yourself to the other ones, right? So that's how you see that if you save up a lot of these resources for about, I don't know, a week, even a month, maybe 2 months, sometimes it takes a long time for these rush events to come through. You will have a lot of these resources saved up, and once you use them up all at the same time, you get a lot of upgrades happening at that point, but you also, that's when these count towards the event rankings, right? So what do you get out of these event rankings? Well, what you get is the Sky Rider passes, right? So some of these events will give you 3 when you are number 1, but some of them will even give you 10 at once, right? So what do you do with this and why are they so important? Of course, I'm not even talking about the other resources that you get out of this because they're kind of pointless, but the important thing is just to be in the top 3, at least in this one's top 10, so you get at least some Sky Rider passes. So what you do with the Sky Rider passes, you go to the Rush shop, and then you are going to be able to buy some cosmetics, right? And these are not just cosmetics, these are mount, I don't know what you call it, actually just appearances or whatever you want to call them, skins, and they have buffs and effects attached to them. You are essentially unlocking another mount, right? So yeah, you can see that there's a lot of these. Some of them are cheaper, some of them are a little bit more expensive. One that is a really good upgrade is going to be the Cloud Drifter, and you can see it costs 20 Sky Rider passes. It's going to take a long time to get them, but it's essential for you to know how to play around the rush events in a new account, because it's really going to make the difference in the long run. As soon as the server becomes a little bit older, it's going to be a lot harder to get high ranks within these events, because things become a lot more competitive. Believe me, when the server merges happen, there's a lot more whales, and you're gonna be having a lot harder time competing in these events as a free-to-play player. And I myself managed to get some of these mounts without really spending too much in the game. So yeah, it's definitely doable as a free-to-play player. Do not think that you cannot compete at all in these, especially in these events as a free-to-play player. Nonetheless, for example, this mount, what it does is that it increases the skill crit rate by 10% flat, and then after the skill crit you can boost, it basically boosts your attack by 20% for 5 seconds every time you do a skill crit. So definitely a very aggressive kind of mount, very good for mages, as well as increasing your global attack by 10% flat. That's forever, it's multiplicative with everything else. That is an insane bonus, and getting this one would really take you a long way. So I was recording some of the stuff, but my recording just wouldn't stop and it wouldn't finish, whatever. I kind of had to scrap that part and I'll do it again, but we rolled a little bit on those gacha tickets for the skills, and as you can see, we got a lot of upgrades, which are extremely important for mages. But I also managed to get my first, well, that's another system that I just unlocked as well. Might as well talk about that one in a moment. But I also just unlocked my first mythic skill. That is this little yellow icon down here. So I'm going to be clicking on Quick Equip, which usually is going to be your go-to for the early stages. But unlocking these first skill, mythic skill, Nature's Renewal, as well, as Shroom Shield, is going to be your both 2 main skills for just surviving. So early on you might face a situation where you are really strong and you're going to be one-shotting everything, but eventually your problem is going to be to survive. So you're going to be playing around with skills that are going to be allowing you to live a little bit longer versus skills that are going to be allowing you to deal a little bit more damage. For now, we're just bossing through everything. As you can see, we are on hard 2-7, just going through really fast with no problems. So that is extremely nice, of course, but eventually that's not going to be the case, right? So we're going to be, I think I'm going to be switching this. No, never mind. I'll just stick with the lamp as it is. So what I was talking about before that I couldn't really record was the artifact system, right? So a little bit like the mount system, you're going to be having a long-term progression system over here, where you will be collecting these divine hammers from many ways. One of them will be your events, your rush events, which we just talked about, for example. So on the Mount Rush, you will eventually, if you reach enough of a threshold, unlock a lot of Divine Hammers. That's why they are also so important, because they're going to be allowing you to level up that, I'm going to be selling that, but it's going to be allowing you to level up that artifact really damn quick. And the artifact has a massive amount of HP, attack, and defense bonuses, you can see down here. Those are going to be increasing very damn fast, and that's going to be your main long-term progression system. As you scroll down here, if you click on the bottom right where you can see it in the screen, I believe, right down here, you can scroll all the way down and you are going to be seeing here attack, defense, and attack speed bonuses, as well as HP bonus. Those combined, especially the first 3 HP, attack, and defense bonuses, are your main form of long-term progression. Eventually there's going to be a moment in the game where you will have unlocked pretty much everything. You're gonna have all the skills, all the pals, mounts, and such. You're gonna be put at a situation where your only way of progressing is going to be accumulating bonuses that are going to be unlocking, just straight up making you more powerful, right? Those percentages right there, they are what's really going to be making you powerful in the very long run, right? So just so that you keep in mind, those are attributes that you should really be looking forward, and just increasing those in general is going to be really damn impactful and important. But you're going to be getting upgrades on those stats in basically any way that you're playing this game, right? If you are leveling up your pals, your skills, you're leveling up, of course, your artifact, your mount, many things in this game, as well as your relics, which I just unlocked, but I don't have any items to unlock them anymore right now. I do need to do a dungeon for that. As you can see right here, I can run the ruined ancient city, but I think we'll talk about that later on within this video series. For now, we just have covered a lot of stuff, and there is just so many things to talk about in this game, guys. Believe me, it's so fast paced. I've barely played, and right now you can see I'm just rushing through things. I am leveling up so damn quick, unlocking pals, relics. We're gonna be hitting another evolution eventually at level 50. We have that stuff over there as well set up for us to talk about in the future. But for now, yeah, pretty much just so many unlocks. The main bottleneck thing is going to be rolling through all the lamps. As you can see, I have thousands of them, and it's so damn slow to do so. But yeah, you can speed this up in many ways, so explore the little ways of just going through upgrades within your account, buying stuff for sure. Again, as I mentioned, there's going to be a lot, it's just going to be a lot of quality of life. Not exactly buying power in this game, it's more like buying the quality of life things. It's gonna be making your experience a lot more enjoyable. But yeah, if you really want to be doing that, please, well, now the video is over, so if you want to stay for a little bit of Aptoide information, again, you should really be checking it out, and if you do so and use it, for sure it's going to be helping me out immensely. So if you enjoy my content, like, subscribe, and stick around for the Aptoide section now. For those of you that don't know, Aptoide is basically just like Google Play. So let me come out of this for a second and go to the store. So if you are using Aptoide, basically what's going to happen is that whenever you are going to be making any purchase in the game, if you are interested in doing so, you're going to be prompted to pay through the AppCoins wallet, basically. So you're going to be seeing this little portal right here as you try to make the payment, and it's going to be showing you that once you make a purchase, excuse me, you're going to be getting a bit of a bonus in the form of cashback, really, of a percentage of whatever spending you are doing. So you can see I am getting 16 cents in the form of a cashback after making this purchase. So I can eventually use all those bonuses whenever I have enough of them to make the purchases for me without actually using my real money. You're not losing anything for this. Nobody's really scamming you here, of course. This is straight up just more value for your money. You do a spending, you're going to be getting a cashback, you accumulate enough of a cashback, and eventually you use that cashback to buy anything else, anywhere, in any other game through Aptoide. So in order to do this, you're going to need to download Legend of Mushroom from Aptoide, and I'll have a guide on how to do so down here, down below in the description. And then we'll also need to set up what's called the AppCoins wallet, which you can also just download straight up from Google Play, set it up on your phone, and here is where you are going to be able to see how much bonus you currently have unlocked after all those cashbacks. You can also see your purchase history within the different games you are playing, as well as here you're going to be able to see that you can input my promo code. There we go, it's going to be down here. So if you enjoy my content and want to help me out, just input the promo code right there, type it in there just like you see on the screen. It's going to be down here as well as in the description. So just type it in there, and that's going to be increasing that bonus that you get from using Aptoide and purchasing in Legend of Mushroom through Aptoide for 5% forever. So that's how you can get a bonus. It's always from 10% all the way up to extra 35% of any amount of money you're spending in the form of those cashbacks. You can also see here any active events that will increase that bonus for a limited time, usually from 5 all the way up to 10% for about 24 hours. As well as here you will see a little bit of a progress tracker of how much more you need to be spending in order to unlock higher baseline bonuses. That's how it works. As you make more purchases, you unlock higher tiers of the bonuses, and eventually you put all that together to reach an extra 35% of any amount of money you're spending in Legend of Mushroom or any other Android game that you play through Aptoide. This only works on Android. Unfortunately, you cannot download Aptoide on Apple, and that's why. So yeah, basically just keep on playing the game. If you are going to be doing so and you want to be getting more value for your money, you might as well do so through Aptoide. It's going to be helping yourself out and helping myself out if you do decide to use my code. All in all, hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye. See ya.